Hey everybody, welcome to another fantastic episode of the 𝙬𝙧𝙤𝙬 Speaks Show. I'm TV host and attorney 𝙬𝙧𝙤 Speaks. I have a fabulous guest for you today. I want you to meet Jamil Inc. is what he goes by. He's one of the premier marketers in our, I guess you would say, of a kind of new generation of marketers. He also is a co-founder. Why I brought him on today, he's a co-founder of one of the premier male grooming companies for Black men, or men of color, I should say. Let me broaden that. And he's been in business for quite some time. He has an interesting story about how he came to start his beard grooming and male personal grooming company. And he also has some fantastic tips for you if you are in business, entrepreneur, or even for branding yourself. He helps people do that. He is a Black college grad. FAMU, stand up. He also has given a lot back to the community. He's raised a lot of money for companies. He's just an all-arounder out of Atlanta/Miami. Okay. But I'm super excited to have him on. So without further ado, I want him to share all of his important tips for you in terms of marketing and expanding your brand, just as he has done with this brand called Fresh Heritage. So without further ado, welcome for the first time to the 𝙬𝙧𝙤 Speak Show, Mr. Jamil Inc. Wagwan.
What's going on? What's going on?
How are you? In full disclosure, I kind of know this guy in real life, and it's been forever. We haven't spoken in quite some time. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, it's been the pandemic threw everything off, right?
Yeah, exactly. People, know of each other, and instead now we're going to get to know each other. So thank you so much. Y'all see his information. Follow him on Instagram. I should have put the Amazon link actually in the description for Fresh Heritage. His products are available for men of color on Amazon as well. But before we get into the nitty gritty, I want you to first tell us about who you are and kind of a little bit more about your background.
Yeah, so my name is Jamil. I currently live in Atlanta, Georgia, from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. South Florida.
Yeah.
My family's from Jamaica, so I have a lot of I claim Jamaica. People ask me where I'm from. I say Jamaica. Just my heritage, my roots. I think a lot of my values kind of reflect that. So my parents, they definitely instill a lot of value, and a lot of my childhood was spent back and forth in Jamaica. I went to FAMU, Florida A&M, the greatest
All
of
right,
all.
Rattlers, hold it down, Rattlers. Okay, okay. Even though we got the colors on like today.
You know, so I went to
That's what's
FAMU,
up. Mm-hmm.
graduated, came to Atlanta. I graduated. I had 10 job offers when I graduated high school, graduated college. So I chose Coca-Cola here in Atlanta, and started my career there, sales and marketing, promotions every year. Just growing, and one year my brother and I decided to go on a brother's trip, and yeah, and I don't want to give too much away, so I'll hold back some things. But that's my
No,
intro.
okay. We get into the nitty gritty. I appreciate you, y'all. Give it up for Jamil. Hit the like button. Please do comment and share again. One of the premier, I wanted to say, master marketers. Understanding the marketing game is really at the core of being successful in business. How to build a brand is something that he has done, and I want him to share more about that journey as he was getting into it. Y'all hit the like button, please. I see the one and only Mr. Faraji Muhammad from over on the Roland Martin Black Star Network. We just finished the show. Let me just tell you, we just had a bomb show talking about everything from Chance the Rapper at Carnival to what's going on with Simone Biles, to more serious issues when it comes to the possible indictment of Donald Trump in Georgia, or charges to be filed, or grand jury to be seated, etc. So thank you for Raji for having me on each and every Wednesday over there on the Roland Martin channel. Hey, Anisha, she says, hey, excited to hear some gems from Jamil. You're in the right place. Hey, Doug, welcome everybody who's watching live. Team Replay, hit the like button. Thanks for being here. So anyway, getting back to where you guys discovered, I guess, I don't know, this idea, or came up with this idea. How did it happen? More than likely, family sometimes get into business and it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But tell us more about that story, about how you came up with this brand for male grooming.
Yeah, so and you're right. Families sometimes get into business together, and it's great. Other times, it ruins things. Luckily for us, it happened so organically. My older brother, I'm the middle child, so I have two brothers. My older brother, younger brother, and I, we started this thing years ago where we went to a new country every year. During the summertime, we'd pick somewhere, would travel, go see some things. It just so happened in 2016, we went to Marrakesh. we went to a couple of other countries around in the region as well. But while we're there, we're kind of just walking around, exploring things, and that's when people started growing their beards. And Beard Gang was cool. James Harden was killing it. Rick
The
Ross.
NBA player, yes.
Yeah. So everyone
I'm
started like,
team beard gang. I love me a good beard, a nice, healthy, shiny beard. Hey, we here for it.
so at the time, my beard was kind of patchy. My smile line was like down here. It just wasn't a popping beard. I was buying these alcohol-based products that were great for people who don't look like us. And my brother, he was still in his fiance's Carol's daughter's products. Like natural organic things. But when he went to Target, he was buying pink bottles, which no one feels good walking out of Target, with a big pink bottle. So what we did while we were there, we seen everyone had these phenomenal beers. So we're like, hey, what do you guys use? And that's just talking to the people there. They took us to some of the pharmacies and places where they get their beard oils from. And the cool thing about that was, in their pharmacies, it wasn't like our pharmacies at CVS or Walgreens where you see all these pills and people in white coats. It was like oils, teas, roots, all these different like natural things. So, of course, we bought a bunch of things. Came back to Atlanta with it, and then we got some chemists and kind of made our own formula. Found a way to bring our own, I guess, using some traditional grooming techniques, bring our own formula to life.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So you come through. I know it's intense looking at yourself. That's all good. You can. It's like, oh, there I go. I want to welcome everybody again. Talking to Jamil Inc. Go ahead and follow him. His ats are on the bottom here of the screen. So at Jamil_INC as well as at Fresh Heritage. You can catch him on Instagram. I was following you, sir. And of course, freshheritage.com. So you go to Marrakesh, and that's in Morocco. And that's a beautiful, my homeboy just came back and he was telling me, I'm like, I guess this might be a sign for me to plan a trip to Morocco. But he said it was amazing, the bazaars. And I don't know if you got down to Casablanca or some of these other places. But y'all, I think I'm for Black travel and we got to explore other places and other cultures. So coming from Marrakesh, the people over there killing the beard game saw that their pharmacy was not what we think of typically when we think of pharmacy and how to grow things naturally. And yes, there is a gap in the market. So I think this is a very big part of entrepreneurship, finding where someone has a need that is not being met. And so you guys say, okay, I myself want to grow the beard. And I see you got one, brother, going on strong there. And you're looking at solving a problem. And you're like, let us use some of what we've learned from our brothers and sisters over there in Morocco and apply it here. So take us step by step. Was it kind of like I start playing with different formulas? Did you look what was going on in the other products for ladies? How did you come up with your own formulation and then kind of get it to market? Now, obviously, you work for Coca-Cola, so I have somewhat of an idea. But how do you go from someone that's watching that's saying, oh, my gosh, you built a whole male grooming line? How do you even start?
Yeah, so great question. And before I go too deep into that, mad.travel on Instagram, follow that page. It's another page that I run. It's a travel page where I promote different travel deals and things. So check it out. The hashtag's blowing up, has like over 50,000 hits, bunch of followers, cool things. So I dabble in different areas. I'm big on traveling, but
so okay, if you go to his Instagram, you can see all of his stuff. I know you have Fresh Heritage. I know you own an ad agency or marketing agency and travel. The people, listen, I'm not discriminating against no beard. You talking about as a goatee count. I love facial hair just adds, I think, to the character of a man's beauty, if I can call it that, right? His handsomeness. I think great Pill podcast went up talking about, I guess I'm losing points. No. Everybody has their own flavor, but I'm just saying there's something about a distinguished, beard. Because everybody can't everybody grow a beard? That's the next question. Okay. So before we get too deep, hey, Olivia, great that you're here. Thanks everybody who's watching live. Hit the like button. Talking to co-founder of Fresh Heritage, Jamil Inc. And he's giving us the background of how you even get started in this. So how do you get started?
Yeah, so we came back from Marrakesh. We had some oils and some things that we bought there. And while we're back, my brother and I have a background in CPG, consumer packaged goods, working at Coca-Cola and other similar brands, a lot of sales and marketing expertise. And then my brother, he was doing digital ads, affiliate marketing, killing it. crazy numbers. He got into private equity. So, we saw it and we're like, yo, why don't we own our own brand? He has his certain skill sets. I have my skill sets. It was kind of organic. Like, let's bring them together. So, we had an idea. We got some beard oils or some things from abroad that we brought back with us, and we got some chemists. We got some of our friends, got people that kind of help us, take some of these traditional grooming techniques, and with a modern twist. So, whether that's adding some like sandalwood or different things to make it smell differently, but still keep the traditional like properties and values to help the beard grow healthy.
I love it. Looking shiny. So just to understand, so great that you point out sometimes we want to start out from the jump on our own, but you work for other people first, where I think sometimes people act like, they're going to have all the answers. It's the best way to learn on someone else's dime is to understand, how to move things to market. And it's great to get hands-on experiences. So you already had packaging, like you said, consumer packaging, it sounds like, experience.
Yeah.
Your brother has already had a lot of marketing experience working for people and then working for himself. So combined forces, yay, combine those infinity stones. And it's like, yes, we got this thing going. So you try different formulas. How long did it take you to come up with your own formula?
So that was a good question. So the trip was in 2016, I think May 2016. We came back to Atlanta, and I think we did our pre-sale around February 2017, and I'll tell you a funny story about that. So, and you had a good point about working for other people, like learning on the job. So I left Coca-Cola. I got a job at a very popular medical device sales company, crushing it, doing good, #1 in sales on my team. And I remember getting fired in February. I think my last paycheck from them was on Valentine's Day, whatever Valentine's Day was that in 2017. And my manager told me her reason for firing me was just because I wasn't a good fit for the team. She felt like I didn't contribute to the team chemistry. And to me, I was like, crushing it on sales, doing all the things I wanted to do. But, my team was an older team. They all had kids and soccer practice and those type of things afterwards. So after work, when we were done, I was taking off and going home. While they were talking about little Timmy's soccer game, I couldn't relate to it. So I kind of left different things. But I also feel like, getting fired was a blessing. I had time to commit to building out, Fresh Heritage, building our avatar, working on our formula, really just deep diving into and it's going all in. Because I honestly believe that if I was working, if I was trying to split time in the beginning of Fresh Heritage, it would have taken a lot longer. But I think we actually launched in like Q1 or Q2 of 2017.
That's great. I'm listening. I'm typing. I'm trying to figure out some of the lessons here. Shout out to everybody watching, because that's really important to know that people can have what is deemed a setback, which is actually a blessing. Help me to see it, Lord, because sometimes when those setbacks slap you in the face, like, what you describe, a job loss, when they were like, you're not a part of the team. These people want, and I think there's a generational difference, the job to be your life, where people of, I would say, millennial to Z, don't really see it like that. They would not necessarily want to hang out with their co-workers after work. When it's time to go, it's time to go. And again, we see that, difference of mindset with older generations, where literally they want you to be team, quote unquote, players, which is to give all your time, even off the clock, to thinking about the job. So there is that. But in addition to them letting you go and having, to really do some soul searching, it provided you with the necessary time, it sounds like, to come up with your own stuff. So thank them for helping you to go full time in your business, it sounds like. So the formula from 2016 to 2017, you kind of get a pilot of, or I guess you would say a prototype, I don't know what to call it in that industry. Yeah. And so you start testing it. Does everybody fall in love with it? Is it like your family's like, yeah, you get the support of, the community around you? Or what was it like when you finally decided to launch?
Yeah, so great questions, by the way. And I'm a fan of your show. I've been watching.
Thank you. I'm not used to getting some compliments, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but no. So for us, we have this formula now. But internally, my brother sister-in-law, little brother, we're all putting our input in, trying things, taking these out, adding a little more of this. We finally got a formula we like, and we're still kind of selling it. But Gamal being the marketer that he was really big on just like doing a pre-sale, right? So kind of proof of concept. So our concept was, guys, black men, lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs, business owners, just different people in general. We didn't, we wanted to have a good beard too, but at the time, most beard oils for us to buy that were for us were sold at like a flea market. You went there, the guy was mixing the oils in his bathroom, and they bring it to the flea market to sell. There's no guarantee of like health regulations or if it's gonna be the same thing week after week. It was on like a little bottle that had like a handmade sticker on it with saying hair oil.
I bought hair oil from ladies like that. I'm like, I know she made this in her kitchen, and I'm gonna use it because it probably works. But go ahead, yeah. So the idea of what it was as a bigger brand was kind of foreign to the marketplace.
Correct. So what we did is we just put a process behind it. We made it sexy. We had a target audience in mind. So I think initially we started selling it around that $25, $30 price point, which is not for a 1 ounce bottle of beard oil. It's kind of expensive, But again, our target audience was, people who were growing their beard gangs, people who watched the James Hardens and the Rick Rosses of the world, and they wanted to look good, but in their profession, as a lawyer or doctor, they just want to be the best version of themselves. So when we did a pre-sale,
so it was a high-end product. $30 a bottle is a high-end. Let's just point that out, because I'm like, would I spend that for hair oil? I'm in the maybe $10. I have spent probably up to 15, excuse me, for hair growth oils and moisturizing oils, and people think that's too much, but that's my price range. So I'm trying to think, if there was a hair growth oil, no, maybe I spent 15. I'm gonna say no, not really 30, but like if there was a $30 oil, would I buy it? So what was the response to that price point?
Yeah, so well, prior to even selling the first bottle of oil, we did a bunch of surveys. So we ran an ad on Instagram saying, hey, we're getting ready to launch a new product. We're gonna raffle off some bevel blade clippers. So bevel blades were like $200, $300 at the time, and we wanted to raffle it off. So again, we invested money to collect information. Information is valuable, right? So we knew that by us collecting this data, it was gonna help us figure out everything. So what we did, we targeted our target consumers, and we asked them, hey, how much are you willing to pay for a beard oil? What type of smells do you like? What type of packaging do you like? How often you want to buy beard? So all information, all of our questions prior to even bringing our product to market was answered. We had a few hundred people fill out the survey. We give the people that won the clippers, we gave it to them.
So this is random people on Instagram. This is not friends and family and nothing.
Yeah. So
okay, this is good game, y'all. So this is like pay for people to give you input. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. And your target market to give you input.
And I'm gonna borrow my brother's story. My brother has a theory when it comes to creating your business, right? It's called ugly baby syndrome, right? No one's gonna tell your baby's ugly, right? If you have a baby, a brand new baby, you're gonna be like, hey, look at my baby. Everyone's gonna tell your baby's beautiful because no one wants to hurt your feelings. So when you go to your friends and family with your business idea, hey, everyone, this is my business idea. No one's gonna tell you it sucks because they love you. They want to support you, right?
Yeah.
A stranger will tell you it sucks.
Yes,
so for us to get the best information leading up to the launch was we did a survey. Again, we ran an ad. We bought bevel blade clippers to go out there and really collect real data, real time data, real valuable information. So doing that, we got the real data. We knew our price point. We knew how big the packaging should be, the style, the feel of it, and finally, we're a few months out. We're getting the beard oils manufactured in mass, and we're like, hey, you know what? Let's do a pre-sale, right? So before we actually even had the product to give, we did a pre-sale. And then
let me slow you down just a little bit. Let me make sure we follow step by step, because I think people are getting a lot out of it. And I thank you so much. Hey, I just want to say hi to Pretty Brown Mimi 2726 from the Roland Martin side on Black Star Network. She says, hey everyone, this is my first time seeing your show. Yay. Glad to see you over here, sis. Thank you for joining us. Same thing. Chris Smoky High. Hey, good to see you represent. And definitely Olivia says, yes, that's right. You got to play. Absolutely. So sometimes, again, that ugly baby syndrome, very good way of putting it, is understanding that they're going to tell you what not only what you want to hear, but things that avoid hurting your feelings. So the truth of the matter is you might have to go to a stranger and say, hey, we're giving away this, and this is some great stuff. Thank you. And I'm just curious, how many surveys do you think you got responses to?
Definitely a few hundred. I don't want to say, maybe like, it wasn't, I don't know if it was a number, it was 1,000. It was, again, that's a few years ago.
So like 1,000, yeah, like about. I'm just trying to give people what the sample size should be. Sorry if I'm freezing, if my internet backing up today. Hey, Tori, Talk with Tori is now Tori's Brain. Nice to see you. He does brain games and talks about maintaining cognitive function as we age. Thank you, Tori's Brain. Check out his channel. I appreciate you guys. Grateful. I'm a hardcore fantasy. Oh, I really appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, sir. But I really thank Jamil Inc. for just kind of breaking down step by step. So 1,000, let's say, sample size, figure out what they want, what they like as a smell, what they want to do. Then follow your own, I guess, kind of blueprint. What does a bottle look like from working at Coca-Cola? What does the package look like? What would people expect from a $30 beer, oil, et cetera, and getting it to market? So pre-sale first, because you want to see what the demand was. And how did the pre-sale go?
So pre-sale was great, and I'm going to give a huge shout out to the Atlanta community. And what I also say is, we talked about coming back from the trip in the end of May 2016 and 2017. So even though we didn't have a product, I started building a community, right? So community is very, very important. So during that whole time period with no product, we launched an Instagram page for 𝙬𝙧𝙤𝙤, right? Mm-hmm. And no one knew what it was, but we had a customer avatar in mind. We knew that the people who we're going to sell to were going to be professional, suits and ties, swaggy, doctors, attorney, but there's a certain type of guy, right? They were Rolexes, they were high-end watches, they shopped at certain places. So, because again, we knew that we wanted to sell a high-end product. So we built an Instagram page with no product to sell, right?
I love that you had your target market in mind without even a product. I love it. Knowing what generally the product would be, but not exactly what it would be. That's crazy. I love it.
But so, because what happens is, and I bring up, women who launch these clothing boutiques, right? They'll have a clothing boutique and then they wait till they get their products and their photo shoots to start building their community up. It's too late by then, right? So we built the community first, right? And also it's more authentic. You're more likely to follow a page that's not selling you anything, that has posted that you like. So we were really intentional on who's our customer, who do we want to sell to, right? How do we want them to look and feel? And then we posted things that were never relevant to them, tips, style guides, just things that were relevant. So now, 6, 7, 8 months later, when we do have our first product to sell, they're like, oh, man, I've been following this page forever. I like what they said. I trust them now because, again, we built rapport. So,
that's wonderful. This is amazing. Now, I've let some of my pages fall asleep, but I'm going to wake them back up. Praise God. Yeah. So where your community is, their what should I say, loyalty is already formed before there was even a product. So their trust, I guess, was already formed before there was a product. That's a really great nugget there. So the community was waiting. And I kind of felt like that for a while too. I'm like, I have a great community. I don't have a product. Now I realize that's okay. You can have the community first, and then you can see what is it that you can offer to make their lives better. And if they really want it, they'll tell you. So the pre-sale was off the chain. People ordered it.
Yeah. And also, just again, with building community, Gamal and I were involved in the Emerging 100 of Atlanta. So very popular group, a lot of Black men that are our target audience, And I think
like the up and coming Young Professional Network of Atlanta. Okay, got it. So that's good. So actually online community and physical in-person community too. That's what's up. That's fantastic. So you have both going, people that knew you, good circle, 100 people strong, wanting to see you succeed, as well as your online community. And then over what time did you start the community? Right after you say you got back from Marrakesh?
Yeah, so we started building. So we were brainstorming the whole time. So right around when we got back from Marrakesh, we started building an Instagram page, and we changed the name a couple of times, but we knew the avatar. So we built the page, grew it, and got to a place where we're trying to really connect it with our target audience. So we had an end result in mind, right?
I love it.
And once we had an end result in mind, it's like, okay, well, how do we get there? So we knew that the people that we wanted to get to, did these things, follow these hashtags. They shopped in these locations, they took vacations in these places. So it's just like, okay, this is our avatar. This is who we want. How do we get to them?
I love it. So, yes, great insight, says Anisha, about genuine. There you go, community building, right? Genuine community building. That's what's up. So the community is waiting already for a product. You get to finally the stage of finding, I guess, a manufacturing plant. Did you use an American plant or did you go overseas?
Yeah, so we got it manufactured in America. Actually, well, I'm not gonna tell you where, but yeah, we got it
Yeah.
manufactured in America.
It's all good. You gotta give all the trade secrets tonight. Y'all check him out on Instagram though. Make sure you follow at Fresh Heritage on Instagram, and make sure you also follow him. Jamil_Inc is what he goes by. And I'm grateful again that he's here. And go to the website and on Amazon and order and support. All right. Not only is it great that it's a Black-owned business, but the product is great too, right?
Yeah.
Several people I know use it, so and they got the beards up. So fantastic. So finding a place to manufacture it, looking at those costs. How much work can I give it? Can you give it a ballpark as far as the costs to start all this? So the social media is free. Joining communities where your target market might likely build from are free. But when you talk about making a package, making a product, buying materials to go into something, how much does that cost?
Great question. So, and there's actually three strategies to do it, right? You could self-fund it, your capital, credit cards, whatever. You could raise money for it, or you could do a pre-sale. For us, we raised money, so we did a friends and family round of people that wanted to invest. We had friends, we had some mentors, and people, invest some money in us to help us get things rolling. So by get things rolling, we mean the boxes, the bottles, a couple of runs with the formula, trying to get things tweaked the right way. And just like that's the initial costs.
I'm gonna say, let's talk dollars. Let's talk dollars. Let's make sense. Yeah. How much you think dollar wise?
I'm trying to remember. I know.
I got that big money. What's up? Like 20 grand, 20, 30 grand, 40 grand?
Oh yeah, it was over. I think to start the brand, I think for us maybe like around 30 or 40 grand was kind of like.
Makes sense. No, I want people to get realistic ideas of what this thing takes, because sometimes you think you could just come through, and most times you're not going to get a bank loan if you're a young business. If you are, it's not going to be for that much. So working and saving, or like you're saying, friends and family fundraising, or I had a wonderful program with a lady named Genevieve Carl Harris, Carville Harris, to talk about crowdsourcing and crowdfunding, because that's how we normally get our money as minority business owners. If we don't already have it and we're not born with a silver spoon, it's okay. Some of us are, but the majority are not. So you have to really think about working and saving, or doing what you're talking about, getting your family to invest. So let's get into some marketing tips. We've got about 10 minutes, but go ahead. What came to mind there?
I was just going to say also with us, that pre-sale was a great boost of revenue as well, because again, before we actually had a product to give them, we did a pre-sale. So that was a big boost to our revenue. We made a few grand off the pre-sale. So there's tons of different ways to do it. I know time's tight, so if anyone's really interested,
yes, y'all come over. He has an agency that does all this stuff, and you're gonna follow him, Jamil_Inc, to get the information, so that we're giving you a bridge version tonight, and we want to spark your curiosity if you're serious about this, and if you're serious about what I'm getting into next, which is the marketing piece. So you have a product. You've invested, you've done surveys, you got your fundraising on, you made it to a factory level, you put it in a box, you're ready to ship it out. So how does it grow into 30,000, I think I read, plus orders, or how do you get to that point? Let's give us 3 strong marketing tips, if you will.
Yeah, so we built 60. We did 60K in our first 60K a month in our first 90 days, and then from there we kept going up. Nice. 6-figure months, things were rolling. I see Pretty Brown Mimi asking about if we have product.
Let me get to the questions. Let's go. Yes, now is the time, y'all, because we got stuff to do. He's a busy man. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat now. If you're watching Team Replay, hit the like button. So yes, Mimi says, will Jamil be creating a line for women? Let's go. We can enjoy any of, or can we enjoy any of your current products? A great question, Mimi.
Yeah, so phenomenal question. Right now, we don't have plans to go into the women's line, but what I can say is, in hindsight, we should have sold women first, right? Women buy on impulse. Tracy Ellis Ross came out with a package, people bought it just because of her name. So I think, in general, if we were smart it's easier to sell to women. Men, they want proof of concept. They want to see their friends buy it first. They want to see all their, who else is buying it. Women, they get behind things that are Black owned. They buy off impulse. I think if you look under any woman's, any woman, especially women that are natural, their bathroom counter, it's going to be dozens, if not hundreds of natural hair care products. So that market is a little bit more competitive to jump into the.
Yeah, got your point. He means it with love, y'all. We are impulsive. But I would put it this way: we have the spending power, and we're usually the decision makers when it comes to, especially personal grooming products. Our men or ourselves, wherever your situation, whatever it is, we are usually the person that's going to give you the shampoo or the face cream or the beard oil. So our input is really strong when it comes to this. I hear you, and I want to pivot now to your marketing. Thank you. Great question, Mimi. Appreciate that. So when we are looking at you, all the success, you guys really launched like, what is it, end of 2017?
Yeah. We launched Q2 of 2017 was our official launch.
Oh, okay. So like second quarter, okay, of 2017. So once you got 3 straight months of good income revenue. I'm not going to say income, we will subtract the costs, of course, from that. Were you profitable in those months? May I ask that?
Yeah. So we actually,
wonderful.
We've been profitable pretty much the whole time.
That is amazing, because most entrepreneurs don't have that story off the time. I mean, I go to a gym right now, and the poor gentleman who owns it be telling me he's losing money or just barely making even, and he's been a gym owner for like 3 years. Like, pandemic hurt him, but now he's like, still, like, people are I guess it's South Florida too, we can be kind of fickle, etc. So how did you get to beyond your Atlanta 100, beyond your community that you had already started growing? How big was that Instagram community, would you say, by the time you launched?
At launch, we had a few, maybe like 10,000-15,000 followers at the time.
Few? That's a lot. Good gracious.
Our Facebook group, that was the one that had I think at its peak like 100,000 followers. That group definitely
without a product.
No, so it was a mixture. So again, we were running ads to collect stuff. So I think at launch it probably was around 50,000. And I'm trying to remember.
That is through Facebook ads.
Yeah,
that are telling people fill out the survey and win something, and then they most likely followed y'all.
Yeah, because we were doing the survey, we got a lot of followers during that survey period as well. So but with that,
you think that could operate now?
Yeah, I think that's right now. Facebook's changed ads so much, but I still think this naturally. If you're giving away something for free, right?
Yeah.
And you're adding value to a community, just in general, people are gonna want to follow and learn and think about pages that you follow on Instagram. What pages are adding value to you? If you're a foodie, you're probably following different chefs that are teaching you stuff for free.
Yeah.
But now that chef, after 3 months of following that chef says, "Hey, I'm selling a cookbook." You're gonna be like, "Hey, I've been following this chef for the last 3 months. He or she's added so much value to me. I've copied some of their recipes. Now I'm gonna buy this cookbook for them, right?" So for us, we're adding value and giving free gems. Hey, grooming strategies. Hey, when you do this, try this. Hey, after 5, wear this dress shirt instead of this. These are the trends. So we're adding value. So now when it's time for us to sell a product, they're like, "Yo, I like what they do. I've been following this page forever."
Y'all better hit this like button. We giving away good gems right now. If you want to support, on the Cash App is $Suzette Speaks. I'm running at the bottom as well. I'm appreciating everything Jamil Inc is sharing right now. This is marketing gold, and we're going to get into a couple more tips of what you can use to expand your brand, expand it quickly. And of course, he actually helps businesses do the part of it. So if you want more, I know we have limited time here, but we're going to, extend both, fresh heritage as products that you want to explore. Hello, somebody, as well as, as he says, he travels and he has an agency that helps businesses with their marketing based on what he and his co-founder, his brother, learn along their journey. So like, we're going to talk a little bit more about marketing, but again, check out his pages. That's where you'll get the most value in connecting with him directly. So any final marketing tips as we kind of wrap up? What would you say small businesses who are going out there like yourselves, believe in their product, got the information, know people want it, able to get it to market? Where do we go from here? How does one become an international brand like y'all?
Yeah, well, I'll say first, build community. I think that's the biggest piece because building that community and having that community that travels with you, right? And by travel with you, what I mean is email lists. Having ways to communicate with them outside of just that platform. Because right now, there's a lot of people who are afraid of TikTok going away because they built this community on TikTok, but they don't have any email addresses, any phone numbers, any groups outside of that. So if TikTok is banned in the US, there's a lot of business owners who their primary source to drive revenue is going to be gone. So build community, collect data from your community, and add value. It's great to make money from people, but it's also great to add value and really build reciprocity. I think so. Building community is one tip I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say take feedback. A large part of Fresh Heritage's success was social proof. We had hundreds of reviews of 4 or 5 star reviews early on, right? I think if you go to the website now, it's thousands of 5 star reviews. So social proof. People want to see somebody else use it and have success with it, right? They want to see before and after pictures. They want to know
testimonials or wonderful reviews, as you pointed out. But somebody else got something good to say beside y'all.
And then I think just from there, building trust. We've had different in-person events as well. So in Atlanta, we had launch events. We've had just annual events that we did that built trust in the community. People got to see us, talk to us. They gave us feedback, and we responded right away. It wasn't just thanks for your feedback, shut up. It was like, hey, okay, let's look and see this is valuable feedback. If we heard the same thing 5, 6, 10 times, okay, maybe
that's what people want. Exactly. So where do you see Fresh Heritage going from here? You say you've been in business and have been mostly, or if not profitable, the entire time, which is crazy. Y'all was on Shark Tank too, right?
So great question. With the Shark Tank, we actually made it to the round right before TV. Some things happened. Actually, just being transparent, it probably was me. I think I have a speech impediment. I stutter sometimes. I get excited. Other times I get very monotoned. Shark Tank, which now they've had a lot of like great black founders.
Yeah.
But
it's a trend.
I think when we were trying out, even though we're making, Gamal was crushing it. He's been in private equity.
I see the other side of the co-founding is in the chat. Let's go. I love it. Yay! Thanks for being here.
But I think at that stage for me, I was still learning. I was still trying to like.
Don't put it on yourself. Don't put it on yourself. I reject that because you just never know why people choose and don't choose. And y'all blessing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm happy we didn't get that deal because the percentage that they take from an ownership in those things. So again, and
you wouldn't even own your own stuff.
Yeah, we didn't get
own your own stuff.
Faith and religion got into our foundation stuff.
Yeah, if you go to Shark Tank, be prepared to give away your company, like a good amount of it for any of those people to invest. So actually, it's a blessing in disguise that you guys still control and own your own stuff, and you've built it from the ground up. You can appreciate that. And do you have any final words? Like, you guys have a lot of staff. Do you do your own marketing still and that kind of stuff?
So, and I do want to add this, and I meant to say this earlier. So in Q4, we actually got acquired by a brand. So we sold it.
Oh, you sold it.
So it
now you know that. Is it still black owned then? So we can
yeah. So it's still black owned. It's a mixed group, but great people. They're keeping up with the path that we started and we blazed. They're still doing those things. Product extensions happening. They're doing a lot of great things, and
So you guys are still involved with the company though?
To a level, a certain level, certain extent.
So they own it, but you guys are still involved. You sold your company to a bigger brand.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. But that's the American dream. I know people get mad at it, but oftentimes that's where the money is made.
Yeah.
Deja vu.
For going back to day one, when we had a plan, our plan was to get acquired. So that's it wasn't like something that caught us off guard. that was the plan. We had friends and family that invested early on that were able to get, great returns on their investment. And also, it's propelling us to do different things now. So if you look at most of the billionaires in America, I'll cut my history lesson short. Look at Elon Musk, how he made his money. He didn't make his money by keeping his product. He sold businesses, bought new ones, sold. Like,
Yes,
Jay-Z.
selling real estate, selling businesses. Oh my goodness. I am grateful to hear all of the wonderful ways in which you have lived the American dream, really, at such a young age. There are people who are going to listen to this, hopefully get inspired, and then hopefully also reach out to you guys. We are out of time. Final words from my special guest, and again, where you can be reached for more information. Y'all, he is an open door. Obviously, he also does have a marketing agency that helps people do and replicate what they were able to do. But final thoughts, sir, and how people can reach you.
Yeah, the best way to reach me, I think, right now, just slide up my DMs on Instagram. I'm pretty good at responding. Yeah, @Jamil_Inc. Closing words I would say is that if you're launching a brand, have faith. I think that there's a lot of times where the religious piece, happens. I told you guys I lost my job 6 months before it. Most people would have said, "Oh no, I need to get another job first." But I took that time and had faith, and believed in God. And I'll add these closing nuggets, maybe as like a teaser. But I bought a condo the year before, and one of my friends was like, "Hey, Jamil, can I be a roommate for 6 months because they're getting a house. It wasn't finished. It was still being built." I was like, "Roommate? I'm however old I was. I want a roommate." But I said, "Okay, you know what? Let me give you." I said 6 months, right? So they're my roommate, and then I told you I got fired, right before Valentine's Day. So now my roommate was covering half my mortgage, and every month that I was working on building up Fresh Heritage, I got a check I didn't expect. So, I had a company that I worked for a few years prior say, "Hey, Jamil, we were doing some bookkeeping and realized that we owe you, this money for your bonus. Here you go." And then the next week or the next month, another company wrote me and said, "Hey, Jamil, actually, we owe you money." And then I think month 3, my mortgage company wrote me a check saying, "Hey, Jamil, you've been overpaying us. Here's some money back." So I think from that standpoint, I was faithful to what God's plan was for me. And he provided, so at the launch of Fresh Heritage, or at least building things up, all my needs were met just because, I was diligent and in my focus. So, I think entrepreneurship, your faith, whatever it is important to have that foundation, because there's gonna be challenging times. Let's see. Chicago Rella, that's a good point. Yeah, Bevel sold to L'Oreal. Trisha sold to CEO. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways people, sell and get acquired and different things.
That's what's up. Thank you. My internet is saying it's time to go. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Chicago Rilla over here in the building. Thank you again, Grayfield. Mimi, did you get your answer? Did you answer her about for real? Are there going to be women products or no?
So right now, I think we're going to stick to men, but we never know. We'll see what happens in the future.
And they say they're so inspired by your story. Y'all keep following him. Please go over to Insta and follow Jamil Inc. Get with him if you are thinking about marketing a product or how to build a product so that it becomes mainstream or it gets to the next level. He's your man. Thank you for inspiring us today, Jamil. Always a pleasure. And I wish you much success on your future endeavors. Much success. I'm going to wrap up right there. But appreciate you being here tonight, brother. And good luck with everything. Thanks you so much for coming on the show. You take care.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. My pleasure. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. And make sure you go to my upcoming shows. They are already up. The streams are up. Go ahead and hit the like button tonight and share. You can comment if you're team replay, but make sure you are subscribed on the YouTube side. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. This is Suzette Speaks. I'll see you soon.
Bye.